Former Major League pitcher Drew Storen is back with me again this year. We talked last year about this whiskey that he's got, Field of Dreams whiskey, and it's still going strong. Welcome back to the show, Drew.
Dan, thanks for having me. Always great to be on here.
I'll tell you what, the last time I saw you was about a year ago at the place that you're going to be again on Friday at the Cap and Cork in Covington Plaza, and that goes on from 4 to 6. I know you're going to be signing bottles of Field of Dreams whiskey, and I picked one up last year when I had the pleasure of meeting you in person after we chatted, and I can't remember when I opened the whiskey for the first time, but I think it might have been opening day, and I said, okay, this is the time, I got to do it now. You know, it's a special thing. For people that don't know about this, the whiskey was actually created from a very famous cornfield, the Field of Dreams.
That's right, and we have essentially taken all that baseball history and the most famous corn in the world, and we come out with our Players Series release. So it's one bottle for every player to ever make it to the Major League. So this year's number is 23,114. So those bottles are spread out across 6 states, and we just sold online. We sold 5,000 bottles in 90 minutes the other day. So it's been pretty incredible. This is a great Father's Day gift, which is why we release it when we do.
So let me ask you the difference between last year's run and the number of players that were that made the major leagues at that point. So this is starting over with this next batch at number 1 all the way through the numbers again?
Yeah, so this has just added 254 guys that made their debut last year. So it's just adding on to what Batch 1. So Batch 1 now becomes Player Series, and that's an annual release. So then you can get your bottle, and you go to our website, drinkfieldofdreams.com/who's my bottle, and actually plug in your number, and it'll show you what player is associated with it. So if you get bottle 19,735, that's my bottle.
19,735, that's yours?
Yes, it is.
So you haven't taken that for yourself so that nobody else gets it?
Correct. No, we sell them. That's part of the fun. I've always been a bourbon collector, so I always thought it'd be cool, like if I was somebody buying this, to have the player that was one of the founders. So that's part of the fun of coming and doing some of these signings, is hoping that you sign your own bottle.
And the cool thing about it is, now that you guys have this number generator, because when I bought my bottle last year, I had to do the legwork.
Yeah, you had to earn it.
I went through them. Okay, I've narrowed it down. It's between this, and for the life of me, I cannot remember who my bottle is now. I knew I was going to have this conversation with you, and I forgot the guy.
Yeah, well, it's all right. Well, now it's a lot easier to figure out. So it took a lot of work for us to get it up there, but it's something that it's been fun to see how much people enjoy just standing there running numbers.
It is, the bottle itself is cool. The whiskey, the story behind it. I still have our original interview up on my podcast, Doses of Dan, and just some of the eerie things that, make your spine tingle a little bit just from how it got created, from, your grandfather and other things that went into this. Is there any other tidbit, any other point that we didn't talk about last year that maybe you discovered by watching the movie again that, oh my gosh, this is part of it now too?
Not yet.
Okay.
I think as we go along, the way that this is intertwined in the baseball world, I think there's been a lot of full circle things. Just having discussions with guys that you either played against or guys that I idolized as kids, like trying to get them involved. And, it's pretty neat how we've been able to kind of run through talking to some of my old favorite players from back in the day.
That's awesome. It's definitely a conversation piece, and gets people talking about things that, who knows what the conversation's going to be over a little glass of whiskey, right?
That's right. That's the point. You sit there and you can have a catch or have a drink with Dad. It's in case your arm's not feeling so good, it'll make your arm feel good. But,
just do not have a catch with the bottle.
That's right. Yeah. Make sure you play catch responsibly. And the other thing too, Dan, this is actually special. My co-founder, Tyler Clippard, longtime 16-year major leaguer, is actually going to be with me. So he's coming up from Tampa, so he'll be with me. More than likely, if you've watched a Major League Baseball game, he's probably played for that team.
Yes,
yes. He's got plenty of good stories. So he'll be there, so that'll be fun.
Well, awesome. Yeah, I know Tyler played for my team, the White Sox, so he was there for a short period of time, and the Yankees, and then a slew of others. So 4 to 6 this Friday at the Cap and Cork in Covington Plaza, and Drew Storen will be there signing bottles And Tyler Clippard will be there as well. Get one of these bottles, and the whiskey's incredible. Thanks so much again for coming on. And I'm sure we'll talk again next year at this time.
I hope so, Dan. Thank you again for having me on.
Podcasts by Federated Media.